Hello, I am Cesar Guevara Cabrera and I am a full stack web developer. I want to show you my web application, and this starts with a problem. Frequently, we see people that decide to change their careers, and this is a problem because they lose a lot of time and money. Well, to solve this, I decide to create TIGOD. With TIGOD, you can discover your ideal career in 3 steps. With the first step, you can make a test and discover your vocation and your careers. With the second step, you can see and read real information about a career, not advertisement. With the third step, you can chat directly with the professionals that you think he or she can help you. In the application, there are 3 roles. The first is the visit role. This role only can see the professional profile because it's public. If you want more, you want to register like a student or professional. You have to register, then log in, and then define your role. If you define your role like a student, you can make the test, see your vocation, and then see the list of professionals that can help you. And if you decide, you can go to chat directly with the professional you select. And that's all in the student road. But like a professional, you can edit your profile too and go to the chat page. Well, to realize this project, I used the framework Scrum and I made my sprints of 1 week each. In the sprint 1, I focus in the planning of the MVP and in the user histories and in the front end. In the sprint 2, I focus in the backend and in the deployment. To the design, I use the mobile first methodology with Figma. The architecture of the application is this, and there is a front end first and then a backend. Well, for the front end, I use React, then communicate with Cloudinary for the image, Auth0 for the authentications, ChatEngine for the chats, and Leaflet for the maps. These APIs help a lot to the development, but I need communication with a backend. To do, I decide to use Apollo with Apollo server and client because I need to control what data I need to bring of the backend. So Apollo helps a lot with this. In the backend, I use Node, Mongo, and more technologies than I'm going to detail here. Well, in the front, I use React, React Redux, React Rotterdam, Figma, Git, GitHub, the Leaflet, Cloudinary, Auth0, Apollo, ChatEngine, SweetAlert. To the backend, I use Node, Mongo, JSON Web Token, Heroku to the deployment, and more libraries. Well, for the agile methodology, I use Trello and use Canva. Well, here I'm going to show you how my app works. Well, here I'm going to register the student. The student is going to go with an email. Well, now I have to choose the role. The role is student. I start with a test, initiate, and finish the test. Here I have the results, the careers, and here the professionals, but there aren't any professionals here. So I'm going to create a professional here. Start with Google. Well, then of that I select my role, professional, and here I have my professional profile, which is public. my status, my main card, and a map with a series where I worked. Well, there is nothing of information here, so I go here, config profile, and can update my information. Here I can select a new photo, but I'm going to do this in the desktop. Well, I have here the new picture or photo. Then I select here the countries where I worked, like Trujillo and Lima. Well, I click here in Add Experience, and the experience is added. Now I can continue adding experience. Well, my profile is updated. I want to be online for the public, and I click on update. My information is now updated, and if someone here, for example, here now I can see the professional, so I go to the profile, and here we can see the profile of the professional, his data, the experience, and the cities where he worked, Lima and Trujillo. Well, I want to talk with this professional, so I click here in the chat button and go to the chat panel. I click here to initiate or to start the chat with Cesar Guevara, and here I write. I send a message, and here in the professional chats, the chats load, and here the message appears. Here the professional can select more chats of more students, and well, start the chat and continue talking, and maybe go to an mentoring part. Here the student can configure their profile too, so he decided to add a new picture and change the name and add the universities and add the universities that he is interested. He, the student, can set the goals he or she has, for example, these two, and the qualities that she or he has. Well, he update the information, then if go to the profile, now he or she has this profile. In this project, I had two challenges. The first was the use of new technologies, and the second was how to prioritize the functions my MVP will have. I think this project is good, but can be better. And for that, I think it's possible to do some improvements, like improve the test with a psychologist professional, or implement the university roles with the careers, and implement internal schedule section between students and professionals, and finally, implement video calls. Well, this was all for my project. Thanks for watching, and that's all.